Something disturbed him. I don't know what it was. Is probably we have a shield down there with camera people behind the shield, and usually they're pretty big holes, and he could probably see somebody move.
I think he sees the reflection on the lane there. You see the shot of the still photographers peeking out there about 45 feet down on the adjacent lane. He's going to regroup and get up and try it again.
It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
You see the speed, though? The speed goes up, and the revs or the rolling of the ball goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't hit the pins quite as forcefully, and the weak 10 is the result.
So basically, he's fighting the same thing that Mark Baker was: nerves, the ability, that energy. You want to get up there a little faster, throw it a little harder.
The difference, though, Mark Baker knows he's got to throw the ball away from the pocket. Walter Ray doesn't, and his natural instincts now are to force it and make it hold with speed, and to throw it straighter and straighter and straighter. And I know that feeling. I went through that a few times.
Record 19 and 10 in the championship round with an average of 223.4 throughout his career.
Better shot, more relaxed, heavier fingers, knocked that 10 right out of there. He just stroked this ball a lot better. The swing goes out, back in, thumb out, fingers lifted. Now watch the 6-pin, second from the right, snap off that wall and get the 10. And he knows it. See, you can feel that in your hand as you let the ball go. Right there. Oh, pretty.
So Macaron now leads by 11 as he works on the double.
Yeah, but this match is a long way from being over. Walter Ray is going to be there yet. And Sam is saying something. I don't know whether he asked for a re-rack or what.
Walter Ray now still chatting with National Tournament Director Harry Golden about some kind of a reflection or distraction.
Right there. Oh, and he knocked that 10 out of there. Pretty shot. Macaron's bowling the best that I have ever seen him in the 8 or 9 years that he's been on the tour. Now watch the 6-pin here. Watch the 6-pin, second from the right, and come back and knock that 10 out of there. Just a tender touch.
Macaron is down on both knees, and he's begging and pleading and knows that he's applying the vice grips now. Walter Ray looks for the double, gives it a little more room, likes the reaction, a little wall shot, and trickles out the center.
But he didn't try and force it. As his brother and father look on, he stroked that shot and let the ball knock out the pins. He gave it a little bit of room, but watch it. High percentage hit right here. Hit light, hit him thin, and watch him spin. You know, it's been working for 25 years or longer. Cut it back to 1 here. Just a freckle tight, and he knew it as soon as he let it go. 4-pin, and Macaron is thinking, one more. 12 pins if he makes this spare 10.
What that last graphic didn't reflect was the fact that Walter Ray is 0 for 4 from the top seed position.
Right.
Seems like he's one of those players that once he wins a game and climbs that ladder is really tough to beat.
There seems to be a lot of players like that.
Yeah,
You get
you're
that
right.
momentum going.
You're right. I don't think most people realize how tough it is to bowl one game for the title against a guy who's already lined up.
Oh, boy, Macaron up by 22. Is in the 230 bracket right now. The best that Walter Ray can get is 236 if he strikes out. If Sam strikes here, his fate is definitely in his own hands. Nothing Walter Ray can do can beat Macaron if Macaron marks in the 10th.
Sam Maccarone has bowled 201 PBA tournaments without a victory.
He knows it too, probably. The 10-pin. Very professional shot. Got it in the pocket. Had every chance to strike. Just not quite the roll that we've been talking about all night long to knock out that 10. But he still needs to just make this spare. We got a great finish coming here. Right now, Sam Maccarone is going at a 237 pace. Walter Ray can strike out for 236. Anything could happen.
And don't forget, Kerry the 10-pin Ross and John Strike Saunders are standing by in Bristol for the update on Sports Center. All the Major League Baseball action, recap of that Class AAA game. That's got to fall back a little bit. 4-pin stands, and Walter Ray, I don't think, was too happy with that shot.
He was hoping to get the break, get the 2-pin to trip out that 4, and it just didn't happen. If he makes this spare, he needs to double in the 10th to make Macaron mark.
Boy, how frustrating he must feel right now to lead back-to-back PBA events. Last guy to do that was Mike Albee back in '85, and Albee won 1 out of the 2. Walter Ray's in position to lose both.
I remember Marshall Holman back in '81 led Sarasota and then came back and led Austin and lost them both.
Boy, that is so hard on you mentally. Whew. It's not over yet, though. Dishes out a good shot on lane 45 for the opening strike in the 10th. He could shoot 225. Normally that would be good enough, but it may not be tonight.
And the mental gymnastics going on right now as Walter Ray just drills this shot on the left lane. As Walter Ray knows if he strikes out, he makes Macaron mark. And I've seen it happen before. Macaron's sitting on the bench thinking he's going to strike out. I've got to gear myself, then I'm going to need that mark.
Got to have this one.
And that's the trip he was looking for in both the 8th and 9th frames. That keeps him alive. A little bit left. Watch the 2-pin, 3rd from the left, gets both the 4 and the 7. And Denny, remember we talked at the top of the game, we said would 228 win? That's what Sam was averaging. Well, Walter Ray's going to finish with 225 with a strike here and force Macaron to mark. He did it. He's got to have that mark.
Well, that shows you some grit right there to strike out and force the mark. An excellent shot on the left-hand lane. And look at the head pin go high up off the sideboard and kicks out the 7. But now it's all on the shoulders of Sam Maccarone.
The biggest shot of his career right here. That's it. He did it.
And there you see the jubilant Sam Maccarone, who realizes that he's on to the Firestone Tournament of Champions. He's now an exempt player, and he joins a very select group of professionals as a winner on the PBA Tour.
And it's what you strive for whenever you come out here, is to win a PBA event, and he's done it.
And he's beaten right now the best player in the world probably at this stage, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Doesn't make any difference what he throws from here. And there you see the handshake between the two, and Macaron out of Glassboro, New Jersey. Well, he's going to have to change his plans here in the very near future. Just lets it go at the 245, and the final score 237, 225, and the high fives now being dished out for Macaron as he's a winner here in the $130,000 Kessler Classic in Riverside, California.